All right, can you give me the whole 1, 2, action?
Yes, sir.
I need to.
Lights, Snickers, action.
All right, everybody, I'd like to welcome you here with Keepin It Real with Antonio McKee. And tonight, and when I say Keepin It Real, I really mean Keepin It Real. I got a special guest. Not only is he a guest,
100.
he's a friend. Not only is he a friend, he's like family. And I thought it'd be one of the greatest ways to start my very own first podcast. I think it's something that I need to do. For those who don't know me, my name is Antonio McKee. I've been in the sport of mixed martial arts for, I would say, probably the last 20 years. I had a good run, dominated for about 7, but due to politics and, some of the ways I took about going to be one of the best fighters, I got held up. But unfortunately, doesn't really make a big deal because now I'm able to talk about things that they didn't want to talk about when I was fighting. I'm able to confront people, and I want to bring so many people on the show. But again, tonight, we've got Kevin Ferguson Jr., and I want this to be different. I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to have it where it's blocked and it's blogged and it's choreographed. I just want to be straight from the dome. Excuse me if I cuss. It's not a. To me, I don't want people to take it personal. But I see a lot of other people cussing and doing podcasts, and they're doing a great job. Not that I'm copying them, but I really know how to cuss, honestly. So for those who I may piss off, I want to apologize now. I really don't give a shit. But Calvin, Mr. Ferguson, why don't you introduce yourself, give them a little information about who you are. Tell us who Kevin Ferguson, Kimbo Slice Jr., tell us who we are. I don't know you, never heard of you. Kind of give me a little introduction of yourself.
What's up, guys? Named Kevin Ferguson Jr., son of Kimbo Slice. And I'm fighting in Bellator now for 2 years. My first coach ever is Coach Antonio McKee, and my first MMA team is Team Body Shop. And I've been around the fight game my whole life. Wrestled in middle school and high school, and that was about it. Did jiu-jitsu for 2 years before I had my first amateur fight. And then my first amateur fight went viral. It was a knockout. And after that, I turned pro with no experience at all. And I have no training experience, no type of stand-up experience at all. And I turned pro just, because I was ready and I love fighting. And then I met Coach Antonio McKee, and we're here now in Long Beach. Grew up in Miami for a couple years, but I was born in Miami and then flew out to the Bahamas until I was like 5, and then I came back over here to the States and just started living. But I was bad kid in school, F3, F all down the board. Didn't listen to no one, really. I wasn't disrespectful. I just did what I wanted, But yeah, that's just a part of it.
So you mean to tell me your first fight, you never had training, you just went right in and just natural God-gift talent and just fought?
Yeah, first fight, no training at all. I mean, I did some head movement with my dad, and my hands was there. I guess I always had power. I didn't know I had power, but I guess that's my gift is power, being able to touch somebody once and, put them to sleep. And yeah, my first fight, Coach, no training at all, and I just went straight into it. I was just talent, no fear, just whatever happens, happen, and I guess it changed my life forever, I always knew I wanted to fight, though. That's just, I've been around it, like AJ grew up into the fight game. That's just the same here, I was at all my dad fights, cornering them, and yeah, it's part of me, it's something I love to do. And if I had $1 million, I would still fight.
Well, it's funny because when I first met Slice, it was really weird. I've always been a fan of your father, by the way. Just raw talent. Yeah. Man can hit hard, had the heart of a lion. I mean, there's not too many people in the game to this day that's got that kind of heart. I don't even got that kind of heart, and I'm still pumping at it. But it was so unique, and I think people who are going to listen to this and who hear what I have to say, this is the craziest stuff ever. So I get a phone call from this guy, Kimbo Slice Jr. Now, before I got the phone call, I had told AJ McKee, which is my son, I said, hey, AJ, we're getting ready to get a big name guy, but I don't know who he is because we lost Bubba Jenkins. We lost him. And so the popularity, we don't get a lot of reporters. We don't get a lot of people coming here to put us out. This is kind of like the school of hard knocks, but we're the ones putting in the most work. You know what I mean? We're starting to get highly recognized, and as well as me as a coach, they're starting to realize that I'm taking this shit serious. So anyway, long story short, I get this call about Slice coming on the train. So I'm like, okay, I've been already warned. Slice comes in, we have a great conversation, very spiritual. We talk about some things, and everything was good. And I'm like, okay, get down here. Let's get the training. Let's see how he does. Got down here, and it was like, oh, boy. This guy's just straight, raw talent. Hits hard, athletic, smart. Got a personality that's, different than what it would look like because he's still himself. So as we continue talking, I like to think on things a lot. I like to go home and meditate, pray, so have you. So I was thinking, let me go home and just kind of process this because I didn't have a real connection with him at that point. So I went home, I laid in the bed, 2 or 3 days goes by, and I remember talking to Slice, and I said, Slice, I knew you were coming, but how did you know that you wanted to be here? Because I knew there was a name, but I didn't know who. And he told me, and I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting. And then I said, it's funny, because I'm a very spiritual man. There's all kinds of religions. I try to stay away from religions. I try to stay focused on the spirituality and that the creator of one. You can call him Allah, Yahweh, Yeshua. I'm not into the name. I'm into the relationship and the energy for those who don't believe in it. I said it's weird because I was told that I would be like a father figure to Slice. Now, here's a man that I don't know when I'm telling him this. Within a couple of conversations, we got closer, but it was like I already knew who he was. And it was crazy because we just had such a strong chemistry, but more importantly than anything, I started to feel like I was connected to his father, which I met a couple of times, but I didn't meet him to where we could exchange enough information where I would have known what I'd known. So now I'm really freaking out because as I'm talking to him, I'm like, well, you know what? I don't want to tell him what's spiritually going on with me. I don't want him to think I'm crazy. So I said, what's your relationship with your father? And he's like, oh, yeah, me and my dad, we're good. Da, 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 da. I was like, okay, great. I couldn't figure out where this father figure was coming from. Man, I swear, within, what was it, Slice?
What, a week? Not even? A week. Maybe I came that Monday.
Okay.
And then we talked. That's when, I was sleeping on the couch. And that's when you asked me, you said, you're right. I remember you asking me what my relationship was with my dad. And
now, you know why I did that?
Right now
because,
I know.
Because spiritually,
right,
I was being told I'm going to be a father figure.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, let me ask him what's his relationship with his father because this is what's being downloaded to me. Yeah. And this is some freaky shit, okay?
For sure.
First of all, why would I want to be a father figure to a man that has a dad?
Right, yeah.
So this was all done at the same time. So there was no later it all makes sense.
Right.
So anyway, he tells me, yeah, my father, we're good. We got a great relationship. Within a week, his father passes away. Right. I had no idea what his father's issues were. I didn't know that his father was ill. But anyway, his father passes away. I'm freaking out. I'm like, whoa, did I just kind of manifest this man's father's death? So I didn't even want to talk to Slice. I was like, you know what, I ain't got nothing to say because I'm kind of scared. Slice took about 2 or 3 days. He stayed in his room, didn't come out. He's all, he's pretty quiet person.
I thought it was a storm. I ain't gonna lie. The day of, it was like raining. The rain was hitting my window, the wind. So I'm like, all right, there's no point of even going outside if it's raining and stuff. So I might as well just chill in the house. So, I stayed in the house for 3 days, 3 or 4 days, got right mentally. And then, I finally came out to the gym and I talked to Coach, everybody.
You remember what you said?
No, I don't remember.
You said, Coach. I said, what? He was like, I'm good. I said, yeah, you good? So I was scared to talk to him at that point. He's like, yeah, I'm good. I spent some time talking to my father and I know what I got to do. Yeah. And from that point, I had to look at things different spiritually. I was like, holy shit, did this just really happen? Yeah. Is this a coincidence? Well, I've had a lot of coincidences in my life, and you get to a point in life where it's not a coincidence anymore. You have to take accountability, responsibility for what's going on because obviously there's something, because you can't keep having the same coincidences over and over and over. So I've always been real spiritual, just acting out, doing things the wrong way. Well, because of Kimbo Slice Jr., I decided to do things a little different now. I started to I want to reach into the spiritual realm and kind of talk about what's up with this, because you can't touch it, you can't see it, you can't. It's like you can only feel it.
You feel right.
You know what I mean? It's a feeling, and then it's subconscious stuff. So that happened. We're training. We're going at it. We're doing what we got to do. Everything's good. And later on, we'll get into some more detailed stuff about spirituality, because I really want to talk on this podcast. This isn't just about MMA. This is about life, everything. Just keeping it real. Cut out the bullshit. Let's talk the real stuff. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. There's a lot of talk shows that wouldn't bring me on. They felt I was out of control. It's not that I'm out of control. I'm going to back you up against the wall, and I'm going to hit you with truth and facts.
Keep it real.
People don't like that.
Sugarcoating.
They want to jump around and, wing their way in and play games. This ain't about games. I want to change lives with a real podcast that makes fucking sense. It's real simple.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to piss a lot of people off. Maybe I won't get the support. Maybe they'll blackball it. Maybe they won't even let me get on air. But at the end of the day, the people that do follow, what you will get is an experience out of communicating on this podcast, advertising, whatever it is, because I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for the relationship with the fans, with the people, and with people who are on the other side. To me, I don't see color. But it's unfortunately that there is no true positive role model, influence, life coach, business owner, entrepreneur, black man that's talking the truth, that didn't sell drugs, that didn't do it illegally, did it straight legal. And now you see the repercussions of that. You see I have a son, I have a great team, I've trained the greatest fighters in the world, from Rampage, Chuck Liddell. So obviously I'm doing something right when the best is coming. Not to get off track, because I can talk all night long. So, Mr. Slice, my brother, where do you see yourself 2 years from now in the sport of mixed martial arts? And then after mixed martial arts, where do you see yourself as a person?
In the sport, I definitely, see myself as a top contender, just because now I understand, hard work. When I first got here, I didn't work hard. I was lazy, smoking, and
Wait, smoking what?
Smoking weed.
Oh man, don't say weed around me, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, man, it's bad though. I feel like if you're an MMA fighter, you shouldn't smoke weed at all, man. It slows you down. It slows down your timing, and you won't be able to pull the trigger. And that happened in my first fight. I wasn't stopping. I was just slowed down for the fight, and I wasn't able to, get off my punches. So yeah, I wasn't a hard worker, and smoking, and I don't know. I had to learn, I was learning. And now, all that changed. I stopped smoking, and I work hard now. I'm pushing myself. There's no giving up. And I have power, too. I have knockout power. So if I could just work hard and do everything right, I feel like no one will be able to stop me. And I have the best team around me with AJ, Joey. We got Jason Manley for jiu-jitsu, Joey for the wrestling, you keeping the stand-up sharp. I mean, all of us are going to be top contenders, not just me. I think the whole team that's taking it serious, we're going to be, top contenders. And I think I'm trying to beat the knockout record for Bellator. That's my goal now, is to get that knockout record.
When's your next fight? What you got going?
It'll be in November. My next fight will be in November. My last fight, I actually tore my ACL. It was complete tear, but I had great doctors that fixed it, and I have a whole team behind me now. And I'm getting better. I start my camp in June, July, and I'll be ready in November. And you guys gonna see a brand new Slice, whole new Slice.
I was looking at some of the on some of the posts and some of the blogs. I was looking at some of the comments, because as a coach and as a friend, I like to see how people see you, so I know exactly, what we need to work on, how we need to sharpen things up. And what I recognize is a lot of people thought when you first came on, you were gonna just be living off your father's name.
Right. Yeah.
From what I see now, you're actually gonna make that name even bigger and better, because I look at you as like the super version of your dad.
Upgraded. Yeah. Doing all the things he didn't do.
Right. And from a technical aspect, so I see, great things. let's say you don't fight anymore. What is it that you'll do at that point? What will you do after you're done fighting?
My goal is to invest, man. I want to invest in property or a real estate, something that's going to bring me money in, and I continue to make money when I'm not fighting or I'm just sitting at home making money. You know, my goal is to invest, and that's all I see right now. You know, I just want to invest in like property or a business that's going to bring me more money right now. I feel like that's the smart thing to do.
Okay.
At this point.
This is my first run at this, so you know I'm sure I'm gonna learn how to articulate things a little different once I get the experience. But what they can't deny is that I'm 100% in heart-wise.
Right.
I'm gonna give it everything I got. I've seen a lot of guys bounce around from gym to gym to gym. As a coach, why do you think as an athlete guys go from different places? And what I've noticed, because everybody that's left me have went completely downhill.
Right, for sure.
Getting knocked out from, if you weren't getting knocked out, they got beat 2 or 3, 4 times. But with me, they were 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. My son, who's never left, is now 13-0. Joey Davis is 4-0.
Right.
You yourself as well, you pulled off some great victories beside that
My knee,
the knee. But why is it that fighters feel that they need to go all over the place to train? Because I'm going to do a podcast on the truth that fighters need to hear coming from a real coach, a real manager, and a real trainer. I'm going to do a podcast on that. But why do you think fighters go from gym to gym to gym to gym?
Well, I'm going to talk about our gym, you know, Team Body Shop. So when we get guys that come in here that's new, they come in here and I don't know what they think they're going to accomplish or do, but once they see our training and the work we put in, you know, either they're going to stay or leave, you know, because it's not easy. You don't have no easy rounds in here. And I'm not sure, man. I don't get it because I don't know if it's a loyalty thing or is it a management thing for them. You know, I'm really not sure because with me, I'm Team Body Shop all day. You know, there's no way I would go and try to train with another coach and mess my stand-up up or make me feel some type of way about or you or the gym, you know, and try to get me at their gym. You know, maybe that's what it is. You know, they go to other gyms and they get these guys or these other coaches start telling them things out. Because it happened to me. You know, I won't say the gym, but, you know, I went to another gym for vacation and I was training there for a little bit. And the owner of the gym came up and was like, yo, are you going to stay here? You going to come train with us? You know, like, you know, come here. You know, Antonio's crazy. You know, he's a crazy man. And to me, I'm laughing.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, right. So I'm laughing to myself like, all right, yeah, all right, man, you guys will see me again. And then, you know, I never came back and, you know, I stayed here. And that was at the beginning, too, before I knew anything. Like, you know, I was just getting to know you and the gym and the team. And, you know, that's what they was trying to do to get me there, I guess because of the name. And they see the money that they can make off of my name and everything. Okay. You know? And you're not in it for the money, you know. You
absolutely not.
You care for the fighters and you care for the people you're actually training. And we don't even sign contracts with you, you know. Right. And I think that's the most like the realest thing, like, you know, a coach can do, you know, is you don't sign a contract, you know. It's like off the respect, you know, off our word, you know.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I hope that person, because I don't need to know who it is, because you know me, I don't give a shit. I've been treated like shit my whole life, so don't expect me to feel like everything's going to be cotton candy where I come from. So it doesn't bother me at all. But what I would like to tell that individual, hopefully they tune in and they watch this podcast and they hear this. What is crazy? The truth?
The truth, right. You keep it real.
You don't want the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
You want me to lie? You want me to candy coat shit? You want me to pretend? You want me to sucker you in and lure you in and then I can't cash the check? Fuck that. I'm not that guy. I'm really not. I'm going to do everything in my power to make you the better person that you can be because this is something that I wish I would have had in my life. Yeah. So for all those who think I'm crazy, I might be crazy because the shit that I put up with and the things that I'm willing to do and the fact that I don't sign contracts with fighters, you can leave when you want. Right. If we don't have a relationship, hey, have a good time. But what I will tell you is you will not, and this is for all you people that are out there, if you've got friends or you've got somebody that's in mixed martial arts and they need real coaching with real training, with real management, hey, this is where you want to be. Come in, try it out. And, you know, a lot of people do. They come in here thinking they're going to do good. Within 10 minutes, the warm-up alone, they're done. There's a science behind martial arts, mixed martial arts. a lot of people are just banging out in gyms. That's something that I don't agree with. There's a lot of brain trauma that happens from that. There's a lot of brain traumas that happen from wrestling. So there's a lot of things that I don't agree with. But on the second note, so if I asked you, what can I do to be a better person? Because you know me, you've been around me, and I like to be critiqued, okay? Right. There's not too many guys that are around me that will give me negative criticism. But I need that because I want to be the best. I'm so anal about being the best. If you had to critique me, what are the things that you would do or that you would think that I could do to be a better person? Because that's one of my biggest pet peeves is I need people to tell me what's going to make me better.
Right,
as a coach, not only as a coach, but as a friend, as a father. Because a lot of times we judge and we say things about people, but we really don't understand both sides of the story. You say your side, I say my side. So I'm not looking to give an excuse, but I like to hear people critique me and for me to be a better person for them.
I would say maybe I don't know. Maybe you take on too many things at once. You know,
right?
Your plate be so full, and then maybe you get. I don't know. That's the only thing I would say is, I mean, not say no to people. You know, not saying say no, but maybe put it off a bit or be like come back at a later time.
Yeah, they got to earn a little. Right. Earn what I'm giving them. Right. What I meet them.
Yeah. Before you would say yeah to anybody. You know, like a guy come in 0-10. And you'd be like, yes, come in, I'll train you, let's get you right, I'll get you on the right track.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that, you know, that's what you're supposed to do, you know, it says like, you know, you don't
But then it takes away from you, it takes away from AJ. Guys that's been in the ground, works with me.
Yeah,
so it's funny that you said that because that was one of the things that I was praying on. I just asked God, I said, God, I just want to be a better person. Right. And that was one of the things is I gotta take my kindness and give it to people who are worthy of it because I was giving it away easily.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's funny you said that. You're absolutely 100% right. I'm starting to work on that now. As a matter of fact, that's why you're starting to see other guys come in. Jay Madley, hey, he's getting my ground. I got Bolo coming in with his striking.
For sure.
So. Yeah. I'm working on that. It's 2019. That's one of my goals.
But that's the only thing, though. Everything else, you're on point, spot on.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not a bad thing, you know.
Yeah. So. My fiance said the same thing. She was like, you know what, you're too nice.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I heard I was crazy. I'm an asshole, man. Like. It's so interesting.
You're crazy to people who don't want to hear what you got to say.
Right.
If somebody's smoking weed and you're telling them, hey, stop smoking weed, they're going to be like, man, Coach crazy. I'm about to go light up and roll up right now, you know. That's what most people, that's how they think, you know what I'm saying? And that's not crazy, you know, because you telling them, you calling them out on their shit, what they're doing wrong. Right. And, you know, most people take that as crazy or, you know, I'll go to another gym where I can smoke and still train.
Oh my God, please. Look, I tried to get Joe Rogan.
Think about everybody who come in here now that smoke. We knocked that weed right out.
Yeah, they asked me out here throwing up in the bathroom. I can tell you some names, but like I said, I'm not trying to embarrass people. I'm trying to educate people.
Sure.
I tell you what, I asked Joe Rogan to bring me on the show. Please, Brandon Swab, Joe Rogan. Every time my name is mentioned on those shows, they quickly change the subject or jump to something else. So when I got to the UFC, I was training a guy that was there. When I got there, I see Joe Rogan. First thing I said is, hey, Mr. Rogan, when you bringing me on your show? Weed's not bad. I'm like, I didn't even say nothing about the weed yet. Yeah. But what I want to do is I want to educate people on the truth about marijuana.
Right.
Marijuana, I am not against. Drugs, I'm against. Right. Marijuana, the way they're growing it, the things they're doing to it now, it is a drug.
It's a drug, yeah,
okay?
Sure.
If you are an athlete and stupid ass people watching this, don't tell me about Usain Bolt and what's the swimmer?
Michael Phelps.
Right. Because those two guys are the best in the world, no matter if they were high on crack, sherm, PCP, it doesn't matter. They're the fastest at what they do. Yeah. But here's a guy named Kimbo Slice Jr. trying to go into the mixed martial art world, and you're going to tell him, oh, it's okay to blaze. Bullshit. Yeah. Part of the thing that makes you so good is your athleticism. Right. Don't let people fool you. Don't let people take that away from black people. Right. One of the greatest gifts that God has gave us is we're athletic. And here's a problem. Half the people that are in mixed martial arts that are black are training wrong because they don't train the fast twitch muscles. They don't train the nervous system. How do you think Matt Hughes would do smoking blunts?
Yeah, not good.
Look,
Maybe slow down.
Nick and Nate Diaz, my boys, I got nothing but love for them because they keep it real too.
Yep.
But they didn't come from the shit I came from. So if anybody was to be about weed, it would be me. Because I watch people die over it. I watch people sell it. I watch people smoke it. But when it comes to marijuana, you are going to affect your motor skills.
Yeah.
And people don't make comments talking about,
Or you're gonna get
it's
hit
for concussion.
and have brain damage.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about performing at the highest level. This is not a fucking submission match 10th planet jiu-jitsu where we hit a big ass bong and then we roll and grapple in harmony for hours. We're talking about slipping a right hand from Rampage. We're talking about slipping a right hand from Chuck Liddell back in the day. You're not slipping that shit. You're going to eat it.
Yeah.
Let's get a guy like Aaron Pico high and train. What's going to make him the best? What's going to take him to the next realm? What's going to make him the great Aaron Pico that he should be? Unfortunately, so I'm against it for mixed martial art fighters, especially those that are athletic. And I'm going to do a podcast on marijuana, and I want the guys to tune in. I want messages. I want to hear you talk to me about marijuana and give me your valid points on how it's good for you when you're a mixed martial art fighter and you're trying to be the number one fighter in the world. We can't say John Jones. John Jones is a badass.
Right, yeah.
He could do weed, cocaine, mollies, and still go in and beat the shit out of everybody. He proved that with AKA guy. What's his name?
And that's who
I'm horrible with names, and I'm gonna have to get better at that. Who's the belt champ? Who holds the belt right now at heavyweight? Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
Okay. He told him, man, I smoked weed, did some bumps, and had a good time and kicked your ass.
Yep, knocked him out.
When you're talking about guys like that, they're in a division on their own.
You're talking about one out of a million.
You give me some weed and ask me to trade, I'm probably going to end up in jail for murder. Because I'm going to think, we're not training, we're doing something else.
Especially what they're growing now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the chemical in the labs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the whole marijuana?
I say if you're an MMA fighter, you don't do it at all. And wait till after your career, and then you have fun and celebrate. But in your career, I don't think it's good to do.
Now, you smoked when you got here.
I did a lot,
and I told you, I said, hey, Slice, it's going to catch up.
And the thing is, you never said, hey, Slice, stop smoking.
Right.
Not once you said that. You let me learn for myself. And I did. My first fight, guys watch it first, 3 minutes, I was running in a circle the whole time. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? I try to jab, nothing's takedown. You could wrestle on it, you could do jiu-jitsu, but as far as trying to be quick and get out the way of punches, it's not going to happen, man.
Well,
it won't happen.
For those who don't know, what happens when you stop smoking to clear up for the California Athletic Commission or whatever commission there is? What happens is your body detoxes, right?
Yeah.
And then once it detoxes, once your adrenaline gets going, and you get all amped up and pumped up, your body is asking for that THC.
Right, yeah.
People don't understand. THC is what makes the cannabis stuff work, right? So when your body's asking for this THC, I need this THC, and your adrenaline is going at the same time, you have a crash.
Right.
This is why they'll blaze before. They're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Hit that shit and go out there and fight like crazy, man.
Right.
The problem with that is 10, 15 years from now, Nick and Nate, as much as I love them, if they continue to fight, and what I do like is that they slowed it down quite a bit, and they're only taking money fights. I like that. In fact, I would like to get Nick or Nate on the podcast, and then next time I see him, I'm gonna see if I can get him to come on and just talk to me about weed. It's nothing personal. You know what I mean? I just want to really understand. Probably if Nick or Nate stopped smoking weed, they probably couldn't fight.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So, you are what you are, and I just want you to be the best that you can be.
Right.
Moving on to the next topic. I know there's a lot of things we can talk about, but I just wanted people to get a small tip of what we're up against and what we're doing. Is there anything you want to say about sponsorships or anything like that? I mean, I totally don't care what you say or do, but I just want to give you the mic for the next 2 or 3 minutes, and then we can kind of close out. Because I want to start to structure this a little different. But I tell you what, this will be the #1 podcast. Joe Rogan, I'm going to be on that ass in a minute. I just want to let you know that since you don't want to bring me on your show so I could talk to you about weed and all the other crazy shit I hear you saying. And I'm a fighter still to this day at 50 years old. I'm still fighting. So I don't want to hear all that In fact, I was wondering, has he ever fought? Has Joe Rogan ever fought?
No, he could train good.
He grapples, right?
Yeah, he grapples.
I'll do a $10,000 grappling session against Joe Rogan, and I'll put up $10,000 to any charity that he wants, and I'd like him to put up $10,000 of charity to any charity that I want. And let's grapple.
Right, sounds
And
fun.
he can hit the bong before we do it. Hit that weed before we do it, and I guarantee you,
Yeah.
I'll wear his ass out.
You set that up at High Rollers.
Yeah, I'm with it. But High Rollers, I heard you got to hit it.
Nah, you don't. You got a exception, man. You don't smoke. Let
Oh,
him
yeah.
do it. And then
Hey, anybody, anytime.
Right.
I don't even care about weight class. I'm not a prideful person where if I get tapped out, I'm going to be upset. I don't give a shit.
Right.
But what you will not do is you will not outperform me on weed. Just, you're going to have a hell of a night. And if you catch me in a submission, okay, you're better than me. You caught me.
Right.
There's no issue here.
Yeah.
But personally, I'm going after Joe because they seem to keep trying to sidestep Antonio McKee. As a matter of fact, my boy Chuck Liddell fought, right? And I trained Chuck. They go and interview his old coach. They go and interview this person. They go and interview. Why didn't they come interview me?
Right, yeah. And he was there every day.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love Chuck. Chuck's my boy.
Chuck's cool, yeah.
Why didn't y'all bring me on the show and ask me? I was his coach. Yo, you didn't want to hear the shit, did you? You knew what I would say. And then as far as his coach, Hackerman, whatever his name is, if you knew Chuck was messed up, why you didn't call me? Because if you go somewhere else and train, even if I'm not getting paid, because I love you and I care for you,
right.
and Hackerman was with Chuck Liddell a long time, he should have called me and said, Antonio McKee, can I talk to you? Don't blame it on his wife, Heidi. Call me as a man and say, you know what, Antonio, you know what, I really want to talk to you, man. Chuck's my boy. I love him. I got a lot of love for him. And I don't think this is a good fight.
Yeah.
Okay, we can move from there. But don't go do interviews about his training and about this and that because you don't know shit about his training. In fact, I have the stats on his training. Chuck was twice the person he was when he got here when he fought that night. It's just unfortunate things happen. You know what? It is what it is. And that's that. But yeah, that's why I was upset with Joe. And Joe, you actually inspired me to start my own podcast because you're a very intelligent guy. You say a lot of good shit, but you say a lot of stupid shit too. And no one's calling you out on it because you're Joe Rogan. I don't give a fuck who you are. I really don't. I respect everybody the same. Joe, Dana, all of them. You know what? You guys are human beings. Let's talk.
Right.
We don't got to get crazy. We don't got to send threats. But when it comes down to it at the end of the day, you guys are the ones with the millions of followers. You put me on that platform. I want to educate fighters. I want to educate trainers. I want to educate people in the world of real stuff going on in this time. Not your time, because your time is different. You're a millionaire. You have a lot of money. There's a lot of guys crawling in the streets looking for a place to eat, looking for a place to sleep. That was me. And I made it thanks to close friends and the Golden Jew. He was able to make some things happen.
Shout out to Golden Jew.
Yeah. I think this guy's going to kill it. He's talking about starting his management company. I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in it. The only real threat that I see is Dave Thomas. You know, Dave Thomas is my buddy. And there's really no threat because there's so many stupid-ass fighters that don't understand the sport. And they just think they can just sign with a guy and the guy's going to make $1 million. I'll tell you right now, people, if you're a mixed martial art fighter, give yourself 3 to 5 years. That's what it takes. 3 to 5 years to bring in some lucrative money where you can take care of yourself and your family.
Right.
Other than
I
that,
agree.
it's a dream. Now, let's pray that there's no injuries. For example, how long did it take you to come back from the, you had a torn ACL?
Torn ACL, completely torn, yeah.
How long has that put you out of work?
A year, almost a year, pretty much a year. I'll
Okay,
be fighting in
so
1 year, yeah.
with the amount of money that you made, with the bills, and I know you're smart because you've been around me for a minute, but the average person, would you have been able to take care of your family
No.
and support yourself
Not at all.
with the injury that you had
No.
and being unemployed for 1 year with the money you've already made?
No, not at all. No.
And this injury came from Miss Marshall.
From Miss Marshall, yeah, for sure.
Okay, there you have it right there,
Yeah.
folks. We need a fighters union so we can start to get some type of structure for fighters and medical insurance. Because we all know what we do, and we all know that we do it because we want to do it because we love what we do.
it, yeah.
It's not about the money, because there's guys that'll fight for $50, $20, $30. And that's crazy to me that we don't have a union. And last time I did this about maybe 15 years ago, I started getting death threats. Crazy. I've survived the hood being shot at,
Right.
police.
Yeah.
gangs. I mean, car flipping over, drove off a freeway, drowned, brought back. I'm getting death threats because I'm thinking about putting together a union. And of course, then I filed that antitrust lawsuit against the UFC, which was a really bad thing. But you know what? It wasn't for me. It was for you guys.
Right, yeah.
You guys need some type of tool to fall back on. Because to be at the top level in this sport, you've got to give it everything you got.
Yeah.
And it's get up in the morning train.
Yeah.
You got to eat good.
Eat
You got to
right,
discipline
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And then you're still not guaranteed to be the best fighter.
Right.
So there are so many different topics that I'm going to be talking about. And I think that when people actually see and not judge me on what they've heard or a particular snip that I've said, I think they're really going to enjoy me because I want to connect with the people. I want them to see the real shit that goes on, not this fabricated stuff. And I'm going to expose some people, and they're going to probably be pissed off. Shit, they might even come knock me off. Who knows? I've seen a lot of crazy things happen. I've seen a lot of celebrities die in the last 10, 15 years. Just mysteriously, things just happen. But I'm willing to put that on the line for the truth. I'm a God-fearing man, and I'm a spiritual man. And at the end of the day, I think I should be judged on my actions, not what I say. Because a lot of people say a lot of things and don't do it.
Right.
I say less and do way more. In the sport, as a dad, as a friend, as a homie, big homie, little homie. I got guys that's been doing time for 30 years, get out the pen, first place they come and do is see me. Just for advice. And they are amazed at how this world is today. They can't adjust. I won't put those names out there, but a couple of those guys are doing really well now. I guess this is about it. This is the first run. There's a lot of changes that'll be made. There's gonna be a lot of advertising. Look, I'm gonna be the guy that everyone wants to advertise and market with because I'm gonna be the truth of mixed martial arts. I'm gonna be the guy that really keeps it 100. I've got a lot of great things coming up. I want to say thank you for everybody tuning in tonight. You can follow me on Antonio McKee Instagram. I'm learning the social media. My page was private, so people are like, well, you don't have a lot of followers. My page was private. I didn't want no followers.
Yeah.
But, I was instructed to take it off and make it a public page.
Yeah.
And if you go on my page, what do you see? You see my fighters, you see love, you see positive, you see motivational things. I'm not doing no 50 Cent shit where I'm showing all this. I mean, there's so much that I can't wait to talk about. And we'll get to that on the next podcast. I just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. I want you to spread the word. Follow me at Antonio McKee on Instagram. Slice.
Oh, yeah. Follow me at Baby Slice 242 on Instagram. And that's it. Shout out all my sponsors, Bad Boy. And, that's it. Team Kimbo, Team Body Shop.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to give a holler out to my boy, Dave Thomas. I know he's going through a lot, and, he's been in this sport since day one. He's mentored me. He's taught me a lot. I would like to see him and the Golden Jew get together. Hopefully we could all do something because I believe the Golden Jew is going to have some good things coming his way, and Dave's growing so fast and doing a lot. I mean, I'm surrounded around the right people right now, so I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm not going to take anything offensive or personal. But God bless everybody. Until the next time, y'all stay tuned.
Yeah, God bless. God bless. God bless. God bless.
I want to thank you guys for keeping it real with Antonio McKee.